Enemy, the shadow that wears my face. Inspired by Dennis Wilmoff's Enemy, a story about identity, repetition, and the fear of seeing yourself. The city never wakes up. It just keeps breathing, slow, tired, mechanical. Buildings rise like old memories, drawing yellow fog. Everything feels sick and quiet. Adam Bell lives here, a history teacher buried under routine. He wakes up in the same bed, walks the same streets, teaches the same lessons about control, and never realizes he's lost his own. He eats in silence, sleeps in silence, and calls that survival. Until one night, a simple movie changes everything. He watches it half asleep, then it stops on a screen. A man walks by. Same face, same eyes, same scar. The credits say Anthony Clare. Adam rewinds, watches again. It's not a resemblance, it's a reflection. He starts searching phone calls, addresses. A woman's voice answers. Anthony isn't home, but her tone says something else. She already knows him. They meet. Two men, one face. One cautious, one confident. One living quietly, the other living loudly. Anthony smirks amused. Adam trembles confused. It's not fear between them, it's recognition. They study each other like predators or like twins trapped in the same nightmare. And the women around them marry, Helen begins to see through the cracks. No one can tell who's real anymore. Anthony starts pretending to be Adam. Adam dreams of being Anthony. Their lives twist together until even the camera of reality can tell them apart. The city turns claustrophobic. Windows feel like eyes. Streetlights hunt like thoughts. And Adam starts seeing things, spiders on the walls, webs between buildings, the invisible pattern behind it all. Maybe Anthony isn't real. Maybe he's the version of Adam that did everything Adam's too afraid to do. Maybe this is what guilt looks like when it grows a face. They meet again, calm, cold. Anthony demands Adam's car, his keys, his life. Adam gives it as if certain to himself. That night, a crash, a body. One of them dies, but which one? Warning, silent. Adam wakes up. He's alive, but not free. On the table, a letter, a key, a reminder of the loop that never ends. He walks into the next room and stops. A spider, enormous trembling, backs away from him afraid. He doesn't scream, he just exhales, because somewhere inside he always knew. He's never been alone. He's been sharing his life with the shadow he tried to ignore. In a world obsessed with control, the scariest thing isn't losing it. It's realizing someone else inside you already has. Every man carries another man with watching, waiting, whispering. Let me live too. The question isn't who's real. The question is who's in control now.